Hi everyone and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm excited to be here with you today for today's Facebook YouTube Live. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. So just let me know if you're here and that you can hear everything okay, and we will get started. So lots is happening this week. Not sure we're in September, amazing to think, springtime. It is a nice sunny day, so that is great. And also it is the start of the Stamping Up mini catalogue. So this catalogue here started yesterday, very exciting, and also some online exclusives. So I'll talk a little bit about that shortly as well. And this weekend we've got Father's Day. Now that is here down in the South Pacific in Australia and New Zealand. I know other parts of the world celebrate it at different times, but it is this coming weekend, which is all very exciting. So thank you for joining me. I see someone is here. Just give me a big thumbs up or just let me know that everything's okay, that you can hear okay. That is great. All right. So I will go over a couple of things regarding the new catalogue. But my focus today is I thought I would share a masculine card that is good for Father's Day. Now, maybe you're organized, you've got Father's Day cards all sorted, or maybe for a birthday coming up or something, you need masculine cards. I always find them the hardest to do. So hopefully my cards from today will give you some ideas and some inspiration to help you with your card making and for some masculine cards. So I'll share how I made these cards, and then we'll just mention a little bit about the mini catalogue and my virtual launch party, which is tomorrow night too. All right, so let me switch to my other camera and we will get started. All right, here we go. So if you are joining me, send a quick message, let me know that you can hear everything okay and that all is good. That would be great. Appreciate you joining me. Please feel free to leave comments. I know some of you will watch the replay later, so if you do, please comment and things, and I'll check those later. Hi Felicity, thanks for joining me today. Yes, I agree, masculine cards are always a challenge. So my first tip is use neutral colors and keep the designs kind of more sort of general, I guess you could say. If you know that someone likes sailing or golf or something like that, or cars, you could use specific images. But if they don't, it's like, what can you do? So these are cards that we actually made this week at Coffee and Cards. It was one of the 2 cards they got to make. And what I have used, slight variations here, is the Country Wood Designer Series paper. So this is a kind of neutral paper and great for masculine cards and other things as well, but it works well for masculine cards. So I'm going to show you some of the paper designs. Wood grains, greys, things like that. This is a very dark wood color, and then some grayish grains. We've got this one, which is a bit more colorful, which I quite like. And then the blues, bit of a petal pink sort of tone on there, but wood grain. Another wood grain, not quite as dark as the first, but darkish. Then more wood grains. And this kind of blue pool party look. And then another kind of wood grainy one. What's on the other side? Sort of that whitewash kind of look. So a variety of papers that can be for, different things, but they do work really well for masculine cards. Now, these are from the annual catalogue and still available. So, check those out. All right, so this is what we did. So with Coffee and Cards, the ladies come, it's the first Tuesday of the month, and I've also introduced, today was Thursday, I did a repeat of this week's class, which was great, and had some new ladies come along. They make 2 cards. Now, I don't take any fancy die cutting machines or embossing or anything like that. It needs to be sort of stamp, ink and paper, and maybe some embellishments, but you can have lots of fun with that. So we always use the note cards. So these are the basic white note cards and envelopes, which come in packs of 20. They're pre-scored, ready to go, like so. And they are perfect for Coffee and Cards. All right, so I'm going to fold that and then crease it. Okay. All right, there we go. So with this design, I'm going to show you what I did for coffee and cards. Then I'm going to show you a slightly stepped up version, something I could do at home because I am dry embossing, that kind of thing, which obviously I can't do at coffee and cards. Now, I've made it Father's Day, but you can make it birthday or something masculine. All right. So let's just have a quick look at the differences between these three cards. I like to have a few samples, and then I change it up slightly so they can decide what they want to do. So this first one here, I just kept it on a white base, added my designer series paper as like banner strips, punch. This is the Labeled with Love punch, which I've used a little bit recently. I've used it in other recent lives. This one here, great, perfect for this size sentiment. This one here is the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. It's quite a big punch. All right, but I am going to show you how you can make it a bit smaller so it's not too overpowering, particularly on a note card. And this one has got some sponging in the background. So I don't know if you know which color, but that is crumb cake. And I've sponged more so on this, just very lightly around the edge. This is the blue is Misty Moonlight. Now with my third card, I have gone for the blue colouring there, and that is Misty Moonlight. And sponge my background and sponge my sentiment as well. And you can see each of them have got a bit of twine behind, some kind of embellishments, neutral colours. These ones are the cork ones that we've had a while ago, and these are more some blue ones. So depending on what you've got, you can use. All right. So thank you for those of you that are joining us live. Elizabeth, Linda, Felicity, appreciate that. I know there'll be some of you that will watch the recording later. So all good as well. So we're going to make a card like this, and then I'll show you my stepped up version. So I'm going to go for the blues in this one. So although I've got my card base, I'm actually going to do the first part on a piece of basic white, and then we'll put that onto our card front. So this is just a fraction, as you can see, a white border, fraction narrower than the card front. And I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat. Can you see that side? It's been well used. Lots of colours in there from Coffee and Cards this week. We'll flip it over and we'll use this, and I'll do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to sponge the background first. So I'm going to use one of my blending brushes. With crumb cake, it's quite a light colour, but with the Misty Moonlight, if you start, it's quite splodgy. So I'm going to start off my page and very lightly, subtly sponge. Okay, and you can't see much. If I press a bit harder, we'll get a bit more colour. Can you see that's haven't re-inked? I've just pressed a bit harder. Sorry, you might be going dizzy as I do this and you watch. And sorry, the table shakes a bit when I sponge. All right, so I think that's pretty good actually. So it's all in. I do circular motions. You can lightly press, you can press harder, but just be careful when you re-ink that you don't get kind of dark marks like that. All right, so that's my background. If I want more of a defined edge, I can just kind of emphasize the edges a bit more, and that kind of frames it, which looks quite cool. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to get some designer series paper, and I've got a few pieces here that I've kind of cut. I had 3 I put aside, I think. Oh no, that's for my second card. All right, so let's have a play around. Because we're using blues, I would like to kind of use the blue. Maybe a grey or that blue. And then I think I quite like that to be dominant, although they're a bit similar. I didn't use the pinky ones. Not sure if I want to, or we could do that. The wood grains are going slightly different ways, whether that's good or bad. It kind of depended on what was left with the paper. We could do that. Just need to decide what I want, and then What do you reckon? We could do that one, or we could go for, could be more greys. Actually, the grey's quite nice. I did grey over there too. Well, that, I don't know. I feel I want a bit of blue in it. What was on the other side? So deciding is, don't know if that's going to be a bit too light. Need some help here. Maybe we'll try that one. The wood grain's going a different way. Shall we try that? Okay, let's go for that. We'll make a decision here. All right. Okay. Then what we're going to do is cut the edges. You'll see I've already done that one, but we need 2 more to do. So this is how I do it. I cut up the middle. Then I go from that left corner to that middle point, right corner to that middle point. Just like that. Do it again. So middle, you might be able to see it a bit more in the darker, I'm not sure. Obviously you can make it a very point or down depending on how much you cut up. So like that. I need to go over a bit more, I think. There we go. And like so. So that one isn't as pointy as that, and that's fine. They can all be a little bit different. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I've done these all on the right-hand side. You could always put some on the left-hand side, vary it up a little bit. Maybe we'll try that. Something like that. Let's try it on this side to be different. Okay, so I want different heights. I don't want them too high because this will be too much of my card showing. So I want most of that showing. Now, if it goes over the edge, that's fine because we're going to trim it afterwards. Maybe we can move that now. So I'm going to get some glue. Try and keep it straight so it's not wonky. And we'll do this one first. Now, if it does hang over the edge, I just don't want to make my table area underneath gluey. So we'll do that one full length. So it's quite long. This one maybe up a bit like so. So we're not quite going to the, hang on a second. That's the shorter one on top, yeah. So they're actually the different sides. So the reason the grain goes this way, because I wanted the contrasting colours. So which way do you like your wood grain to go? Up or down or sideways? It might depend on the card. So that's all just put down flat. Okay, I might just need to glue there. I'm just going to pull it up a little bit. Just so that's quite pointy, that one, but that's okay. We'll leave it at that. How's that? Then we're going to do our sentiment. Now I need a scrap piece of white. I'm going to stamp this in the blue. And Happy Father's Day. Did I get the stamp out? Now this particular one is actually from a kit. It might have been for the guys' kit, I'm not sure, but it was a kit I had. And it was a masculine one. And it's a great Father's Day stamp. So the good thing about kits is after you have, actually I need that to sponge, after you've made the cards from the kits, you've got the stamp set. If it's one with a stamp set, you've got it to use as well. So I'm going to punch this out. I'm not doing the whole thing. I could do, but that's quite big. I'm going to bring it down a bit, center it. I know it looks weird, but just persevere with me. Right. You're thinking you haven't punched it right, but it's okay. I'm going to put it back in and now punch just the bottom. So line it up like that. Try and get it straight. There we go. So now we've cut a bit off it and it's smaller. Now we're going to sponge it with our blue. I might do a little bit more subtly this time, just kind of around the edges. So I didn't want too much white, so it's not sort of in your face. All right, but sort of subtle with a bit of white. Let's see how that's going to look. Where's the rest of my card gone? I've buried it. Right, so we'll see how that's going to look. We'll do it like that. Excellent. Right, I think this is dry. Let's cut this off. So I'm just going to use my paper snips and follow the top of the card and cut it off. Isn't that cool? Then I can put that on my card front and you'll see a slight border. Nice. So not too much glue. We do not want it oozing out the side. All right, glue that down. Nearly done. So it's a fairly quick and easy card. Now we're going to add this, and we want a bit of twine with it. So I'm going to put some tear and tape on the back, like so. I'm going to find my linen. Well, it's actually linen thread, really, isn't it? Now I'm going to actually use 4 fingers because I want enough showing top and bottom. So I'm going to have an end down by the bottom little finger. I'm going to wind it round, so that's once, twice, and then I'm going to finish at the top. Get my ribbon scissors and cut it. Now I want it to go across that way, so this is on the back, so I want to do the opposite. I'll take that off my hand if I can. Squeeze it in the middle, so I'm not actually tying it, so like that, and I'm gonna stick it down onto that tear and tape that I had, and hopefully it will just show a little bit top and bottom. Flip it over. Now you can see it, and use some dimensionals to adhere it to my card. So no tying as such. So if you don't like doing bows, yay, you don't need to. All right, my take your pick tool. Here it is. I'm going to just lift off the back of the dimensionals. So you could put it here. You could put it here. What do you reckon? I might actually put it here because then I can put some embellishments here and here. How's that? All right, so then I'm going to add embellishments. Now I've gone for more blues. Not quite sure if I want to go for that light blue or maybe some whites. I don't really want shiny sparkly. That's not quite so masculine, I guess you could say. Or I've got these, but they're more browns and I haven't used browns. What do you reckon? Maybe the white or the slightly off-white. Let's try this just to have a bit of embellishment. Not sure. You can let me know what you think. There we go. I don't want it to be too kind of sparkly and girly kind of thing. There we go. So I've changed it up. I've done it on the left side this time with the blues, and I've obviously used a different punch and slightly different embellishments. There you go. So what's your thoughts on that? Let me have a look at the comments and things. See, Linda has been busy making lots of masculine cards, which is cool. So yes, you could use this idea for masculine birthday cards. Have them on hand ready to go, which is cool. All right, see, a few others have joined us, so that's great. Thank you for being here, but don't worry, I'm not over yet. So what I'm going to do is step it up to a standard size card and add a bit more to it. So this is what we couldn't do at Coffee and Cards, just because I don't have my machine and things. So here we are. I've used the same thing with the banners, but I have used the Forever Plaid embossing folder in the background. This one, because I've used a bit of blue, I've got it on a Misty Moonlight card base. We're going to make a similar kind of card, but this time we are going to do it on a early espresso card base, just to keep it different. So for the sake of time, I've already I've embossed this ready and cut it to size. So it's just a very subtle white border. Now, can you see the difference between these? They're both crumb cake, but I've sponged this one. and it just brings out the pattern so much more. So let's do that. Whoops, sorry, knocking the camera. So I'm going to get my crumb cake blending brush and my crumb cake ink and just subtly go over it. Sorry if it shakes again. And add a bit of colour, and it sort of helps bring out that pattern a little bit more. All right, it's probably very hard to see. If I did blue or something, it'll be more noticeable, but I don't know if you can tell, but I can definitely see the pattern more than it was. It's going more on those raised bits. I'm not going to worry about too much there because most of that I'm covering up anyway. But I can definitely see the pattern more. Okay. Can you see that bit where I haven't done? It's not as sort of noticeable. Great. So these pieces are a little bit wider than what I had on here. I'm not exactly sure. I can tell you roughly what the size of the other banners were. I think they're about, 2.5 on these cards, and these ones are, I think, 3.5, 3 centimeters. So it's only a little bit wider, and obviously they're going to have to be longer to go down the card more. So let's try this. What was I going to put down the middle? I can't remember what's on that side. I can't remember what I was going to do now. I think I was hoping for slightly more wood grainy looks because we're going for more of the browns. Maybe we'll go with that. Obviously that's a bit more grey. You could sponge it slightly if you wanted to tone it down a little bit so it's not so white, but let's just go with that. So I'm going to, again, we have to trim our little tails. I've got my scissors, yep, just finding the right ones because the other ones were my ribbon ones. You could put, if they're all the same width, you could put them all together and do them in one go. I'm cutting through 3 layers, which is a bit harder, and if I mess up one, I'm going to mess up them all, so just bear that in mind. But let's try this. Maybe 2 is better than 3 because it's not quite so many layers. There we go. So when I stick these down, again, I want different heights. What do you reckon? Like left side or right side? We might make these right side cards just to keep it up. Let's do maybe like that. Looks pretty good. Okay. So lots of possibilities with this wood grain. Let's just go all the way, shall we? Might need a little bit of glue at the top though. It will be a little bit harder to stick because it's on a textured pattern. I mean, it still sticks fine, but just be aware of that. Now I've put glue at the top. I don't actually need it. And then this one down the middle. Sorry, arms in the way. I think the hardest thing with this card is deciding on what papers and which side you want to use. Once you've mastered that, the card's quick and easy. All right. Gonna trim that like so. How's that? Then I'm going to put it on a slight, if I cut this. No, it's the envelope. That's why it didn't fit. This over here. Panic stations for a second there. And put that on with a slight border. Might just need to slightly bulging. Let's trim that slightly. Now, when you emboss, sometimes it might stretch the paper and things. So do it a bit bigger, emboss it, then cut it out. But make sure if you do cut with an something that's been embossed afterwards, if it's right near the edge and it's just a slither, it's probably going to tear. So you need to make sure you're cutting a reasonable bit off, or you're using something like a guillotine where you're going straight down on it. Okay, so we've got a slight, wonky, a slight subtle white border there. putting that on our card front. So we're going for the brown, so that brown is coming through. That's Early Espresso card base. So you can see it's the same kind of design, but I've just made it a bit bigger, stepped it up with some texture embossing in there. All right, let's stamp our sentiment again. Now I do need to clean it because we had misty moonlight. So I'm going to use my stamping scrub. Whoops. So this is blue there. I've put that there for washing it. I've sprayed it already with my stamping mist, and then yellow on that side, dry it, and we're ready to go. I'm going to go for quite a dark color. I'm going to stamp in Early Espresso. Where's my matte? So photopolymer, I do like to have a matte underneath because it doesn't quite have the sponging like the red rubber stamps do. Let's punch it with this one this time. Then we don't have to adjust it in any way. It fits perfectly. You could leave it as it is. Let's take a look. Or we could sponge it. I won't sponge it in that color because I feel it's too dark. I'll just do a bit of crumb cake. So what do you reckon? Leave it white or sponge it? Oh, there's a few more joining us. Thank you. Let's see what the comments say, whether I should sponge it or leave it as is. While you guys are deciding, I will get some more twine and get ready to go on the back. So I need a piece of tape. Can't see any comments yet. Should I leave it white or should I sponge it in crumb cake? So crumb cake would be sort of a subtle look like that one. Sponge, says Joe. Fair enough. Anyone else going to comment? We love sponging. Blending brushes are great. Okay. All right. I'm not even going to re-ink it. I'll sponge. Got two sponging. I'm just going to use what's on here. I might need to re-ink. We'll see. Just a subtle sponge. Going around the edges. I'm pushing quite hard. Obviously, the crumb cake is lighter than what... Oh, sorry. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. Shaking the table and something fell off. All right. Just makes the brown not too... Sorry, just makes the white not too kind of in your face. I am going to ink a little bit more. Just to bring it... Oh, there we go. A bit more colour. Maybe now too much. Who sees? There we go. Okay, oh, that's nice. Okay, now we need our twine again. I've got a piece that I prepared earlier, so let's just use this. Oh, I need to take the back off, adhere it. So I want it to go right to left, so I'm going to stick it on left to right, because when I flip it over, it will be the other way. Perfect. Dimensionals. Dimensionals are here. And I'll show you what I did inside too. So let me know, who has made Father's Day cards already? Have you got Father's Day cards done? Or a flick marker? Yes, a flick marker would be cool, except I don't have a marker right here with me. Here, I'm going to do it slightly off, I think. I don't know. We can't see some of that, so let's just make sure it's showing. Whoops, we want it straight though. How's that? Happy Father's Day. Quite different with the different colours. All right, embellishments. Now I'm going to use something called adhesive backed textured dots on this one, which is what I used here. They're quite cool. So I'm going to use, oh, how am I going to do this? I'm not quite sure where to put them. One, what do I have them down here? Two. I might actually just move this down a little bit so I can bring my dots down a little bit. Do you reposition things? Here we go. How's that? Okay, is it straight? Think so. Cool. Right, shall I show you what I did inside the card? So we haven't really used a stamp that we can kind of stamp on the inside because it's just the sentiment. So what I did was I just got a piece of the designer series paper, something that was on the front, and put a strip inside. So depending on what scraps you've got, I haven't on this one yet, but you could put a piece in and then a piece on the inside. So that's pretty cool. All right. Very good. So that's our cards for today. So if you're needing some masculine ideas, the big thing is to keep to neutral colors. Some blues, some grays, some browns always work well. And if you don't have a specific image that suits someone, like a car or a boat or golf or something, just go with some neutral patterns. And the country wood paper really works well with that. So I'll just show you some of the cards that we made again. So we did this at Coffee and Cards. So that's at Vera Cafe in Unsworth Heights, the first Tuesday of the month. And now I'm introducing a Thursday after that as well. So it was lovely to have some new people come this morning. And we make 2 cards. So here are some samples of what I did. So the one with the white, one with a bit of sponging with the crumb cake in the background, and then my 2 blue ones. So even though they're both blue, they're still a little different because this one's got a more defined edge. This has been sponged a bit darker. You can see I've used the 2 punches as well, whether it's the labeled with love or the heartfelt. Was it heartfelt hexagon punch? So a couple of possibilities there. So with the note cards, you got the envelopes with them. You could even make a set of cards to give someone. And then we've obviously, some sponging there. Makes it really good with some linen thread and some embellishments. And then stepping it up, we've got these 2 cards, the blue, Misty Moonlight, or the background Early Espresso, with some texture embossing in the background. So I see Sheila really likes the Early Espresso, so this background. Let me know what you like. Do you like the Misty Moonlight or the Early Espresso for the kind of stepped up version? Love to know what you like. Cool. All right, so even if you're watching this recording later, please let me know, what ones you like. I'd love to read your comments and things. Some of you are watching this on YouTube, some on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please follow my page so you know what's happening and things. On YouTube, subscribe. You'll get notifications of things that are coming up. Now, yesterday was the start of the mini catalogue. This mini catalogue. So I'm allowed to open it now. In my previous lives, I couldn't open the inside because it wasn't live, but now it is live. So there's all sorts of exciting things in here. I sent out, for those of you that aren't in Auckland, I sent out a whole lot of catalogues last week. I know some have arrived, some have probably got further to go. Maybe yours is still coming. Keep an eye out for it. And there are also some online exclusives that aren't in a catalogue, but this time they've made like a flyer, brochure kind of thing, which you can download. So on my Stamp with Angela blog website page, there's links to the catalogue, so you can download it if you don't have a copy, and the same with the PDF for online exclusives, and also a link to where it is in my online store. So any questions about the new catalogue? Now I undenied, because this is the first live after it starts, do I make something from the mini catalogue? But then it was Father's Day, so I thought, well, I'll do Father's Day for this, because tomorrow night, Friday night, 7:30 till 9 p.m. is a free virtual event, kind of a launch party, sharing the new catalogue with you. So I'll share more info about what's inside, the online exclusives, show you some cards and products and things from it, and do a little game and things. So that'll be lots of fun. Now, it won't be on this particular page. It will be in a Facebook group. So you do need to sign up and join the Facebook group before the event, and you also need to refresh the page on the night until the video comes up. So I'd love to have you join me. Even if you can't be there live, you can still join the group and then watch it when it is, the next day or when it suits you. Now, just before I go, I want to show you something else. All right, here are some of the exciting new papers. Now, I haven't even opened these up yet, but we've got these ones here. What is it called? Lights of Aurora. So, and then this one here with Christmas designs. We've got this one here, slightly more autumny colors. This one here is, what do we call it? Is it like a textured snowfall kind of specialty embossing paper? Some more that are more autumny colors, and then greens and sort of snowflakey Christmas ideas. Oops, this one's upside down. Is this the Jolly Christmas or something? North Pole Delivery. So you can hardly see anything because it's still in the package, but there are lots of cool papers. Some are online, some are in the catalog. But now you can see them, and I'll share a little bit more of them during my live. But if you want to be part of my paper share, where you get like a quarter share of each of those, you get a taste of all of them, which is real cool. And you can have coordinating cardstock if you want to, or ribbon as well. It's a good way of seeing lots of the different products. All right. Very good. Well, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. Let's see if I can come back to me. I hope you've now got some ideas ready for Father's Day. Where are we? Let's come here. Cool. So I hope you've got some ideas for Father's Day or masculine cards generally, which will be cool. And maybe you've learned a technique or two, like with the using the punch and making it a bit smaller. That's a cool technique. So I appreciate you joining me today. Like I said, so tomorrow night is my virtual live. I also have a special offer this month. It's my birthday month, my birthday on the weekend. So I will be offering a special offer this month if you order through me, which I will reveal tomorrow night, and then I'll share more about it through my newsletter and other things as well. So if you've got that, even if you order now, you'll still be entitled to it. Anyone who orders in September. So keep an eye out for that, and I will share what that special offer is. That's very exciting. All right, thank you so much. If you've got any questions, please reach out to me. Please remember to subscribe to YouTube, follow my Stamp with Angela Facebook page, join my newsletter if you're not on it, because then you'll be kept up to date with what's happening. And I look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow night, either live or you get to watch the recording later. And I'm excited to share lots of things with the new product that has come out. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you again soon. So thank you so much. And my blog and stuff's got information about my paper share and the virtual event, so check that out. All right, thanks so much. We will see you again soon. Bye.